this is not spoken about as often when beliefs are formed instantaneously. So in this video, I wanted to talk about limiting beliefs, what they are, how they're formed, and how you can heal them or get rid of them. So if you are new here, my name is Jenna Fontanez. I am a certified hypnotist and I help people with self-sabotaging behaviors in their relationships to uncover the subconscious imprints that are really driving those behaviors and help you overall gain self-esteem, confidence, and have happier, healthier relationships with those around you. So first off, beliefs are stored within our subconscious minds, meaning they are what's really driving our expression in life. They are really running the show. They are the core to what overcomes our willpower. So anyone who has ever set a New Year's resolution, they are relying essentially on willpower, which is the conscious mind. And there's different figures out there. Some say that the conscious mind makes up only 10% of our brains. Sometimes they say 20%. But it's safe to say the conscious mind is only a fraction of the whole. Really, everything that's under the surface is the subconscious mind, that which sometimes we're unaware of, sometimes we are aware of, but the subconscious mind and what is stored in it, i.e. our belief systems, are what causes us to not live out our New Year's resolutions. Statistically speaking, people only last about 8 days in, and then they fall off. And that is because the subconscious mind takes over. And it will always overpower or outwill our conscious mind. And so really it's running the show, essentially. So our beliefs are stored in this subconscious part of our minds. So most of the time, our beliefs are formed in our early years, in our childhood, from the time that we are born, or really even in the womb, up until about 8 years old, because we are in a sort of hypnotic state where our little minds are moving through hypnotic brainwave patterns known as alpha and theta. And so we absorb everything from our environment around us. So if we have caregivers, parents, older siblings, people in our communities who we're with quite a bit, and they're saying things to us repetitively, that will get soaked up by the subconscious mind and form into a belief. For example, if your mom or dad often said things like money doesn't grow on trees, or I'm broke, or do it because I said so. These are just a few examples of the things that our environment and the people in them said on repeat. Those get adopted into the subconscious mind. They go from thoughts to beliefs when they are on repeat. The second way that beliefs are formed are from our own thoughts. So if we think a certain thing, let's say now we're a little bit older, we're in school, and we're noticing that we're different from our peer over here on the other side of the classroom, or the teacher keeps saying something that's making us feel different or less than. If we keep thinking the thoughts of, oh, I'm different, or I'm not like so-and-so, or I'm so stupid because I don't know the answer to the question on the board, when these thoughts that come from within ourselves go on repeat, they can also form beliefs. And then the third one, and this is what I really want to talk about further because I feel like this is not spoken about as often, when beliefs are formed instantaneously. As compared to the first two examples that I gave you, where most of our beliefs are formed through that repetition, there is the possibility for a belief to be formed when it has a heightened emotion attached to a thought. In other words, when someone lives through a traumatizing event, and I just had a client earlier today who was an entertainer who was in the theater in high school, and we went through the session, and my client goes back to a scene where they're on the performance stage, and somebody in the audience, one of their peers, shouts out a very derogatory statement, and the auditorium laughs. And it's in this one moment that consciously my client's like, I know that those people don't matter, but subconsciously, the feeling, because that's what's held in the subconscious, impressed upon my client, nobody likes me. People hate me. And so because of that humiliation and essentially trauma that took place in that moment, the belief was formed, disconnecting my client from those around him. And that belief trickled out into all of these other behaviors. Feeling as though they're not good enough, feeling as though they're disconnected, as though they're not accepted, and so on and so forth. And so it is one thing to identify our beliefs, and it's so empowering to identify, hey, I have this belief that I'm not accepted, or I'm not good enough, or I'm different, or whatever the belief is. The first step is to acknowledge it. And sometimes we can consciously acknowledge what it is and identify it. But even then, it is not an easy task to uplift or uproot that limiting belief. So what I can tell you is it can be done because I see it on a daily basis, and that is the work that I do. But the awareness is just not enough. It needs to be uprooted. It needs to be processed out of the mind and out of the body. So if this resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.